Am I audible now?
You are now.
Guys, sorry for the interruption. So yesterday we were talking about submarines, and there are two classes of submarines. One is the diesel and electric powered, and the other class is the nuclear powered submarine. So in the conventional powered submarines, we have these classes: the Kalvari class of submarines, and Sindhu Ghosh, and the Shishumar class. So only you have to remember the classes. Okay, so in the Sindhu Ghosh class, सबके नाम में we have Sindhu, Sindhu Ratna, Sindhu Raj, Sindhu Vijay, Sindhu Keshri, and in the Shishumar class, these are Sankush, Shalki, and Shankul. So सिर्फ जो याद रखना है that we have the Kalvari class, we have Sindhu Ghosh and Shishumar class. And in the nuclear powered class submarines, one is the Arihant and one is the Akula class or the Chakra. Okay, so this Arihant is it is ballistic missile submarine. Okay, we can launch the ballistic missiles from the Arihant submarines, and it can launch even the nuclear warheads. Okay, and this Akula class, it is an attack submarine. So INS Arihant is it is the nuclear powered, and it is ballistic missile submarine. It is the only ballistic missile submarine of India, and other submarines, they are under construction or either they are under the trial. See, in the year 99, okay, in the period of 1997 to 1999, we launched a submarine development project and a 30-year submarine development project. And under that project, we decided to develop 24 submarines. So a part of this project was the Project 75. And under the Project 75, yes, Nikhil? Okay. And under this Project 75, we manufactured the Kalvari class of submarines. So under the Kalvari class, we have all these submarines: INS Kalvari, INS Kanderi, INS Karanj, INS Vela, Vagir, and Vakshi. So three of them, they have been constructed, and I think Kalvari is commissioned in the Indian Navy. Kanderi, it is undergoing sea trials, and Karanj, it is also under the various stages of trials. And all of these, Vela, Vagir, and Vakshi, they will be inducted soon in the Indian Navy. So these submarines, these Scorpion class submarines, they are designed by the Mazgaon Dock Limited. Okay, so this MDL, it is under the Department of Defense Production. So we have one of the department is Department of Defense Production under the Ministry of Defense, and this Mazgaon Dockyard Limited, it is under the Ministry of Defense, Department of Defense Production. And after the Project 75I, we started the Project 75I, which is a follow-on project of Project 75. Project 75 Kalvari class submarines. Okay, and in the Project 75I, we will develop the advanced air independent propulsion submarines. So in the propulsion system, the air is involved, but for the Project 75I, we are building submarines which uses the air independent propulsion. Okay, in the engines have a propulsion system, a jet engine, and in that it is air independent propulsion system in the Project 75I, the submarines that we are developing there. Okay, so under the Project 75I, we will acquire the 6 diesel electric submarines, 6 more diesel electric submarines. So torpedoes, we have something known as torpedoes. They are basically cigar shaped missiles. Okay, so these torpedoes, they are cigar shaped, and these are basically the weapons, the missiles under the sea. So they are designed to be self-propelled inside the water. Okay, so if you have seen the movie Ghazi Attack, then they use the torpedoes to destroy the other submarine in the sea. Yes, so these torpedoes, they are designed to launch from the ships, from the submarines, and they can also be dropped from the aircraft. And India is among the 8 countries in the world, the first 8 countries in the world, which have developed and designed the torpedoes. And the name of Indian torpedo is Varunastra. Okay, so it is again derived from the Indian mythology. Varun is the god of.
You are
Varun
now
is the god
unmuted.
of fire.
You are now unmuted.
What Tisha?
You are now unmuted.
God of ocean or water.
Varun. Yes, absolutely, Disha. Pardon, Varun is the god of, okay, ocean or water, and the god of air is Pavan. So you will read this in the ancient Indian history. Okay, so origin of all these gods, these mythological gods, they are from the Rig Ved, from the Vedas. Now here we have one question that, Gokul, you are very quick. So which of the statements are correct with respect to the Varunastra? It is an indigenous self-propelled weapon with an explosive warhead, and it is launched above or below the surface of water. So this statement is obviously correct, and it is developed by the Naval Science and Technology Laboratory (NSTL) of DRDO. And the third statement says, by developing the Varunastra, India is among the club of 4 countries. So this statement is wrong because India is among the 8 countries. So the correct answer is option B. Yes, they can destroy the submarines, they can destroy the ships. Basically, when the torpedoes, they come in contact with the ship material, okay, so there is a blast. They blast when they came in contact with any of such material. They explode upon touching the submarine surface or any ship. Now, with respect to the Project 75I of Indian Navy, find the correct statements. So this Project 75I, it is the follow-on project of Project 75. This statement is correct, and it is a part of 30-year submarine building program that we started in 99. So this statement is also correct. And under the 75I, we will acquire the 6 diesel electric submarines. So all of these statements, they are correct. So this project, this shipbuilding program, it was started in 99 and it was under the Vajpayee government. Okay, it was under the Vajpayee government. Now the aircraft carriers. So these aircraft carriers, they show the strength of one nation in the ocean part, and India has only one aircraft carrier which is functional, and the name of that aircraft carrier is INS Vikramaditya. So what is this Vikramaditya? Again, when you will do your ancient history, so there is there is a king Vikramaditya, and basically in the ancient history, Vikramaditya is a title. So the first king who defeated the Shakas. So in the 57 BC, there is one king who defeated the Shakas, and that king is known as the Vikramaditya. Later on, many kings they acquired the title Vikramaditya. So Vikramaditya, this name is associated with valor and victory. Okay, and even the Vikram Samvat. Have you heard about the Vikram Samvat, the Indian calendar? So Vikram Samvat is the Indian calendar, and it starts from the BC 57 BC. ठीक है, 57 BC में there is one king who defeated the Shakas, and तब से हम मार्क करते हैं the birth of the Indian calendar, the Vikram Samvat. So Vikramaditya is derived from this, and one of the emperors in the Gupta Empire, he also acquired this title of Vikramaditya.
You are now unmuted.
Rajyavardhan Samudragupta.
Yes, I also think so. One of the emperor in the Gupta Empire. Samudragupta is also known as the Napoleon of India. Okay, Meenu, very good. So Samudragupta acquired the title of Vikramaditya. So there are other aircraft carriers. Please write, we have the INS Vikrant. One is INS Vikrant, and this is R11. So the INS Vikrant, we acquired this from the United Kingdom. We acquired the INS Vikrant from the United Kingdom, and this was commissioned in Indian Navy in the 1961. Okay, UK developed the INS Vikrant by the name of Hercules. So they left this project and they did not complete the Hercules aircraft carrier. And in 1961, India acquired the Hercules, and we did the remaining construction of the Hercules. And this was inducted in Indian Navy as INS Vikrant. INS Vikrant, the R11. So it served India in the period 1961 to 1997. So this INS Vikrant was decommissioned. And now there is also one more INS Vikrant which we are developing indigenously. So this was the INS Vikrant R11. There is a difference, and the other one is INS Vikrant. Okay, we are using this name again, and INS Vikrant now is an indigenous aircraft carrier. It is under construction. Okay, it will be completed by 2021, and it will be commissioned in the Navy in the year 2023. So the INS Vikrant, if they ask the question about INS Vikrant, then it means the new Vikrant, which is under construction and which will be completed by 2021. And if they will ask about the decommissioned INS Vikrant, they will mention the R11. Yes, the Virat Virat replaced the Vikramaditya. No, Vikramaditya is serving us currently, and Virat did not replace the Vikramaditya. See, after this INS Vikrant R11, we had the INS Virat. So this INS Virat, we acquired this from the British Royal Navy. Okay, from the British Royal Navy, we acquired the INS Virat, and it served India in the period 1987 to 2017. So the recent aircraft carrier which was decommissioned is yes, Vikramaditya is on lease from Russia, and it is serving us from 2013. So Vikramaditya, it is serving India from 2013 till present. Okay. People, I am explaining again. See, we have the aircraft carriers from which our aircrafts like the Sukhoi M30 and all other aircrafts like the Rafale, they can operate from these aircraft carriers. And aircraft carriers, they show the strength of one nation in the sea. Okay, they are the sign of strength of one nation inside the sea. Okay, so currently serving aircraft carrier, we have only one aircraft carrier which is serving us now, and the name of that aircraft carrier is INS Vikramaditya. And I told the class that the name Vikramaditya is derived from the one ancient Indian king who defeated the Shakas in the year 57 BC. And one of the Indian calendars which is known as the Vikram Samvat or the Vikram era. So the Vikram era started at the 57 BC, and 57 BC marked the defeat of the Shakas by the king Vikramaditya. So in the ancient Indian history, a lot of kings, they acquired the title of Vikramaditya, and one such king was the Samudragupta. Samudragupta of the Gupta Empire. He also acquired the title of Vikramaditya, and there are as many as 12 to 14 Vikramaditya in the ancient Indian history. So the name Vikramaditya is derived from that, and this is in service from the year 2013 till present, and we acquired the Vikramaditya from Russia. Okay. So this is one thing. And then I talked about the first aircraft carrier of India. Then I talked about the INS Vikrant. INS Vikrant or R11. So this INS Vikrant, we acquired it from the UK. So United Kingdom, it was developing one of the aircraft carriers. The name of that aircraft carrier initially was Hercules. Okay, Hercules is a that Greek mythology legend. So they were developing Hercules, and they left the project in between. We acquired the Hercules, and we did the remaining construction of the Hercules, and then we inducted that in Indian Navy in the year 1961 by the name of INS Vikrant. So the INS Vikrant, the first INS Vikrant, served the Indian Navy in the period 1961 to 1997. Okay, the Vikrant was decommissioned in the year 1997. Okay, and now we are building our own indigenous INS Vikrant. So the INS Vikrant R11, that was our first aircraft carrier, and it was decommissioned in the year 97. And now we are developing our own version of INS Vikrant, indigenously developed. And This will be completed by the year 2021. We will complete the construction by the year 2021, and it will, okay, we will commission it by the year 2023. It will serve the Indian Navy from the year 2023, our indigenous version, the INS Vikrant. Clear? We talked about INS Vikramaditya, which is currently serving us, and then I talked about the INS Vikrant, which served us in the period 61 to 97. And now I am discussing about the INS Vikrant, which we are building indigenously, and that will be inducted by the year 2023. And now we also have one known as the INS Virat. Okay, so this INS Virat, we again acquired it from the British Royal Navy. United Kingdom, we acquired it from the British Royal Navy, and it served us in the period 1987 to 2017. So, which aircraft carrier was decommissioned recently? It was the INS Virat. INS Virat was decommissioned in the year 2017, and we acquired it from the British Royal Navy. And before serving India, it served the British Royal Navy in the period 1959 to 1984. Then we acquired it. We did some construction in it, and we acquired and we commissioned it in the year 1987, and it served the Indian Navy, and it was decommissioned in the year 2017. Okay, so this INS Virat, it is the longest serving aircraft carrier. Okay, it is the longest serving aircraft carrier. 2017. And the INS Vikramaditya. Roxana, commissioning means like when you join the army. Okay, when you get your stars and when you get your head. Okay, when you are commissioned into the service after your training part. Okay, if you are lieutenant in the army, after your training part, you will be inducted into the Navy as an officer. So that is your commissioning. You are commissioned as an officer. And when you complete your service, then you are decommissioned from the service. So this is the serving period. This is the commissioning time, and this is the decommissioning. Okay, when you are leaving the service, that is the decommissioning. Then there is also one more aircraft carrier, INS Vishal. It is under development. INS Vishal with double A, it is under development. Okay, so INS Vikramaditya, we acquired it from Russia. INS Virat, we acquired it from the British Royal Navy, and its name was Hermes, Hermes. Its name was Hermes, and we acquired it from British Royal Navy. And INS Vikrant R11, that served us from the 1987 to from 1961 to 1997, and its earlier name was Hercules. So India has currently only one functioning aircraft carrier, which is the INS Vikramaditya, and its total weight is 45,400 tons, and it is developed by Russia under the Kiev class. Okay, we acquired it from Russia, and India had previously the INS Virat, and INS Virat was decommissioned in the 2017. So the recently decommissioned aircraft carrier is INS Virat, and India is currently developing the INS Vikrant since 2013, and it is estimated that the construction will be completed by 2021 and it will be commissioned by 2023. And Vishal is under development. Now there are other classes of ships and one class is the destroyer. So under the destroyer category, we have these three classes. We have the Kolkata class, and we have the Delhi class, and we have the Rajput class, and which you saw in the Ghazni. Okay. So under the Kolkata class, we have these different naval ships: INS Kolkata, INS Kochi, Chennai. Okay, all three are under the Kolkata class. And we have these INS Delhi, INS Mysore, INS Mumbai. They are under the Delhi class. Okay, so they will not ask you such kind of questions that this particular ship is under the which class. Okay, they will not ask you this, but this is the classification of the ships. These are the destroyer ships. And in the Rajput class, we have INS Rajput, INS Rana, Ranveer, and Ranvijay. So, okay. Don't strain your memory muscles in remembering all these. अगर क्वेश्चन आता भी है तो कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस यहाँ पे बहुत ही पुअर है. आप बहुत ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट करके इसको रिटेन भी कर लोगे, लेकिन क्वेश्चन यहाँ से आने की चांसेस बहुत ज्यादा कम है. Then we have the frigates. Okay, Meenu, thank you. Meenu is saying that Rajput class. Okay, it has the Russian technology. Okay, you are asking that I cannot say from where we have acquired the Rajput class. Yes, Rajput class is from Russia. We acquired it from Russia. Yes, Meenu. Actually, these slides they were prepared by Keshav sir, and this portion was completed by Keshav sir, and I am doing it again in my own way. So we have the frigates. Frigates, they are basically they are ships for the supporting role. Okay, they travel with another ships to protect them. And under the frigate, there are four classes under the frigate kind of warships. We have the Shivalik, we have Brahmaputra, we have Godavari, and we have the Talwar class. So within each class, we have these different warships. INS under the Shivalik class, we have INS Shivalik, Satpura, Sayadri. Okay. In the Brahmaputra class, we have the Betwa, we have Bias, and we have the Brahmaputra. And in the Godavari class, we have the INS Gomti, INS Godavari. Okay. So all of these are frigate ships, and there are four classes under the frigate ships. And under the Talwar class, we have Talwar, Trishul, Tarkash, Tabar, Trikand, and Teg. Okay, so the only information that you can collect from here is that the other class is the frigate class, and under the frigate class we have the Shivalik, Brahmaputra, Godavari, and Talwar. So if they will ask you only this much, that whether this is a destroyer or this is an amphibious vehicle or an aircraft carrier, so you can identify it. But usually if a question will be asked, it will be either from the project 75 or 75I, or it will be about the aircraft carriers. So the Virat was decommissioned in 2017, that can be asked, and because aircraft carriers, they play a major role in the strategic posturing. And another is the orbit kind of ships. These are the smaller warships, and under it we have different classes: the Kamorta, the Kova class, Khukri, Veer, and Abhay. At all, these are not important. So all of these INS Kamorta, Kadmat, okay, Kilton, Kavarati, these are under the Kamorta class. INS Kova, Kirch, Polish, they are under the Kova class. Okay, so we have in the Corvid class, we have 5 kind of ships: Kamorta, Kova, Kukri, Veer and Abhay. अभी तक भी किसी एग्जाम में इनको पूछा नहीं गया है और आगे की भी उम्मीद नहीं है, because in the UPSC they usually do not ask such kind of information, and even in the PSCs they can ask. Now, apart from submarines, aircraft carriers, we have destroyers, we have frigate, the corvette, which are the smaller ships, the patrol vessels. Okay. We also have the Saryu class ships or the Sukanya class of ships for the offshore patrolling. One type of vessels, they are designed to patrol the coastline, and the Saryu class and Sukanya class, they are for patrolling the offshore region. And there are certain patrolling vehicles like Car Nicobar, the Mangram class and the Trinket class. So these all are patrolling vehicles. A question can be asked, okay, asking that what kind of vessel is this? Car Nicobar is, it is a patrolling vessel, or it is a submarine, or it is a warship. Such kind of questions can be framed, which you can extrapolate and you can mark the right answer. Then I told you about the amphibious warships, which can come to the land surface and they can lend support to the forces fighting over the land. And we have the Austin class, the Shardul class, and the Magar class, and Kumbhi class. These all are the amphibious vessels. So there is also one thing which is the INS Astradharini, and which is the torpedo recovery vessel. So INS Astradharini, it is the torpedo recovery vessels, and if whichever will be in the news, that will become important from the point of view of the exam. So which of the following best describes the INS Astradharini? And this is the torpedo launch recovery vessel. Okay, so questions can be framed like this, and if anything is in news, that becomes important. Okay, so you know the broad categories of the ships. Okay, we have the aircraft carriers, we have destroyers, we have the corvettes, we have frigates. Okay, we have the amphibious vessels. So if these terms they will come in newspaper, then it will automatically strike your mind. Now the aircrafts and the helicopters that are with the Indian Air Force. Okay, we have the Tejas, the light combat aircraft, and it is developed by HAL. And HAL is a company under the Department of Defense Production. Okay, under the Ministry of Defense, we have the Department of Defense Production, and under which we have the HAL, we have the Bharat Electrical Limited, and we have the MDL, the Masgaon Dockyard Limited. So we have the Rafale, and we have Mirage 2000, the MiG-21, MiG-29, Sukhoi 30, okay, and the Jaguar, Sepetrol Jaguar, which is for the ground attack. So Mirage 2000 is nuclear capable, MiG-29 is nuclear capable, Sukhoi 30 is nuclear capable, and Rafale is nuclear capable. Okay, we can launch the nuclear weapons using the Rafale, using the Mirage 2000, using the MiG-29 and using the Sukhoi 30. So India has now acquired the second strike capability. Second strike capability means if we are hit by a nuclear weapon in the first instance and our nuclear facilities they are destroyed in the first attack, then we can launch the second strike. Okay, and India also has the nuclear no first use policy. You know about the nuclear no first use policy? India has no first use policy. Yes, India will not use the nuclear weapons in the first instance. After India tested the nuclear weapons in the Pokhran range during the Vajpayee regime, so Japan was the very vocal critic of India for developing the nuclear weapons, and Japan it very vocally criticized India. So after the international backlash, the Indian government okay अपने आप को responsible दिखाने के लिए we bind ourselves to the nuclear no first use. So this is our own policy. No one forced us to follow this policy, this principle, but India, okay, out of the responsibility, we adhere to this nuclear no first use policy, and we are at present adhering to the nuclear no first use policy. But in the year 2018, there was a statement by the Defense Minister of India. There was a statement by Defense Minister of India last year, I guess, that India will review its the no first use policy. Okay, this statement was only this much that India will review its no first use policy, and because Rajnath Singh he does not say anything. Okay, ऐसे ही वो कुछ नहीं बोलते हैं. He does not say anything as it is. So the countries like our neighbor Pakistan, so they criticized India for it that India is going to change its nuclear no first use policy and India is acquiring a aggressive posture. Okay, so India has given some kind of indications that we will revise our no first use policy. But after that, after the 2019, there are no discussion on it. So because of the nuclear no first use policy, the second strike it becomes important, and for the second strike capability, we have the INS Arihant. We can launch the nuclear weapons even from the submarine. So all of these are the category of helicopters. We have the Boeing AH-64, MiL Mi-24, MiL Mi-17, Dhruv, Chetak, Cheetah, Udh, Chinook, and LCH, light combat helicopter. So if any of these will be in use, that will become important. So it has given the answer that all of these are correct. So which of the following is the part of NASA's Great Observation Program? Option 1 is Hubble Space Telescope, then we have the Compton Gamma Ray Observatory, and the third option is Chandra X-ray Observatory. So all of these are part of the NASA's Great Observation Program, and there is one more observatory which is a part of this program. What is the name of the fourth one? बिल्कुल एकदम 4G 5G की स्पीड से आंसर देता है. So Spitzer is the fourth one. The Spitzer Space Telescope, it is the fourth one. This question was asked in, I think it was in the UPSC 2016. So other than USA and Russia, India is the only country to have launched a similar observatory into space. And the second statement, it was very factual that AstroSat is a 2000 kg satellite, and we have put it in an orbit of 1650 kilometer above the surface of the Earth. The statement was wrong. Okay, neither it is of 2000 kg, and okay, the statement one, it is also wrong. So this was asked. So from this question, if you can acquire some kind of factual information, if your memory is strong, then that will be an asset. Okay, if you can remember a lot of data, that will help you in passing through the prelim stage. Okay, so memory is also an asset, and I will talk about it later. I think there is some problem. Are you getting my voice? Okay, there is some problem here. Okay, let me refresh it once again. Are you getting any voice now?
All good.
Okay, good. People, you are getting no video. I guess the issue is resolved now. So we have also the one class of these aerial vehicles, which are the UAVs, the unmanned aerial vehicles. And UAVs, they are basically aircraft without any human pilot on board. And the smaller sized UAVs, they are known as the drones. Okay, so drones, they are also the UAVs, and the smaller sized UAVs, they are the drones. And these are the various drones of India developed by DRDO. We have Rustam, we have Nishant, we have Lakshya, we have Netra, Abhyas, and Aura. So these are all the unmanned aerial vehicles. और जो भी न्यूज में होगा उसको आपको ध्यान में रखना है. ओके. So this Netra is it is used by India, and it uses the technology AEW and C, airborne early warning and control system. Okay, we use the Netra in the airborne early warning and control system. So basically Netra is used for surveillance purposes. Netra is used for surveillance, and it is the airborne early warning and control system. And Rustam is this is MALE, male, medium altitude, long endurance drone. It can fly at an altitude of 22,000 feet, and it is long endurance, that it can fly for 20-hour period. Okay, the Rustam, it is male, medium altitude, long endurance, and the altitude it can go is 22,000 feet, and it can fly for 20 hours. So it has longer endurance. So this is all from the defense part. Okay, and the things that will be in news, you have to cover those things from the newspapers and the magazine that you are getting from the institute, the current affairs that you are getting from the institute, you have to do it from that. And there is one thing, please write one thing, that is the hyperloop. There is one technology which is the hyperloop technology. Do you have any idea about hyperloop? Okay, people, very good. So what is it, people? Have you heard the name of Elon Musk? So the yes, people, very good. Yes, Frankie Singh. So this idea, this was proposed by Elon Musk, and he proposed this idea in the year 2012 to 2013. Okay, he talked about a mode of transportation, a game-changing mode of transportation, okay, which can carry passenger and as well as freight. So that is the Hyperloop at much higher speed. Yes, Elon Musk, he is the founder of Tesla and the founder of SpaceX. I don't think these are the Hyperloop technology. Okay, it is in the developmental phase, and if it is not yet used by the public, okay, some of the projects, they are the pilot projects, they are the trial projects. So Hyperloop is a new mode of transportation, and you can travel at the speed as high as 1250 kilometers per hour. Okay, so later on the Elon Musk, no, they are not trains. They are basically these smaller size pods. Okay, pods, they are smaller than the trains. Okay, they are not the trains. They are different. They are different from the bullet trains. So a vessel type structure which is known as the pod. So Elon Musk, he outsourced this idea. He sorry, not the outsourced. He open sourced this idea, and he invited all other companies, all other entrepreneurs to. Yes, people, you might have seen this in the movies. He open sourced this idea, and he invited all other companies and entrepreneurs to build upon this idea. And since then, many companies, they have come forward to develop this technology. So in the Hyperloop, okay, we will use a tube, a tunnel kind of structure, and in this tube or tunnel kind of structure, we will create the vacuum-like condition inside this tunnel. Okay, vacuum-like condition will be inside this tunnel, so the pressure will be low. These will be the low pressure tubes, and by sucking out the air, there will be no friction inside the tube, so the pods, they can move at very high speed. The pods inside the tube, they can move at very high speed. Either they will use the magnetic levitation technique. Okay, they will use the magnets to propel the pods, or it will be like the pod floating in air. Electromagnetic, yes, it is there because the magnetic levitation, it uses the magnetism. So yes, it is the electromagnetic technology because we are creating the magnets using the electricity. Ruxana, Hyperloop is in the developmental phase. Okay, it is in the developmental phase. So this is the high speed mode of transportation, and the speeds, they will be as high as 12,050 to 1300 kilometer. And Elon Musk, he has envisioned that through the Hyperloop, they can touch the hypersonic speeds. They can touch the hypersonic speeds with the Hyperloop. Not now, but someday in future, they will be able to do it. So there is one company which is known as the Hyperloop Transportation Company. क्योंकि Elon Musk ने idea open source कर दिया था. This was available to everyone. So there are many companies which have ventured in the Hyperloop project. So one company is HTT. It is the Hyperloop Transportation Technology. Hyperloop Transportation Technology, and this is a US based company, an American company. So this is US based company, and the HTT, Hyperloop Transportation Technology, it has signed an MOU with an agreement with the Andhra Pradesh government. They have signed an agreement, an MOU with the Andhra Pradesh government for developing the Hyperloop between please write Amravati to Vijayawada. Amravati to Vijayawada. Okay. So Hyperloop Transportation Technology, they have signed an agreement with the Andhra Pradesh government for the development of Hyperloop. Okay. This project between the Amravati to Vijayawada. And there is also one company which is the Hyperloop One. This is another company. Hyperloop One. And they have signed an MOU with the Maharashtra government in 2018. They signed one MOU with the Maharashtra government in 2018 for the Mumbai-Pune route. For the Mumbai-Pune route. But by the change of the government, this MOU was signed by the Devendra Fadnavis government. But now the Ajit Pawar, the Deputy Chief Minister, he has said that since the technology it is nowhere used in the world, okay, this is basically an experimental phase. We cannot consider it as a new mode of transport. It is an experimental. Okay, this is one experimental technology. So the new government, it is not as enthusiastic about Hyperloop as the previous government in Maharashtra. And there is also one company, there are as many as 9 companies which are involved in this Hyperloop project. And there is one company in India, India-based company, which is DGW, Hyperloop India. DGW without space, Hyperloop India. Okay. So DGW Hyperloop India is the one Indian company which is working on Hyperloop. So by DGW is Dinclicks Groundwork. No project has yet been allocated to DGW Hyperloop, but this is one Indian startup, one Indian company which is working on the Hyperloop project. ठीक है, सबको क्लियर है? Now this is all from my side. Okay, and if there is anything specific that you want to ask, you can ask me. और अभी मैं थोड़ी बात करना चाहूंगा रिगार्डिंग द यूपीएससी, हाउ टू अप्रोच द एग्जामिनेशन, स्ट्रेटेजी किस तरह से रखनी है और माइंडसेट किस तरह का रखना है. बट इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन प्लीज आस्क देम. Yes, nanotechnology is part of this syllabus. Nanotechnology is part of the syllabus, yes. Nanotechnology, it is okay, it does not remain in news many times, and nanotechnology is very technical and UPSC is not asking questions from it. So There are many things that they do not mention in the syllabus, but they ask question from that portion. And there are many things like world history is mentioned in the syllabus, but they did not ask the questions from world history for 4 years, and then they asked only one question, a 12 marker in 1 year. So from my perspective, investing too much time in nanotechnology, okay, that was not a good strategy. But nanotechnology, it is written in the syllabus. See, Ruxana, the geostationary orbit is a type of geosynchronous orbit. Okay, so geosynchronous orbit is one, जिसका time period of the geosynchronous orbit, it is same as the time period of rotation of Earth. And if this is the axis of the Earth, axis of rotation, and this is the equator, then okay, if a satellite is rotating around Earth in this manner and its period of rotation is same as the period of rotation of Earth, so these are the geosynchronous orbits. And when the angle between the plane of this orbit, okay, with respect to the equatorial plane, this angle theta, this is 0, means when the orbit is along the equatorial plane, that becomes the geostationary orbit. See, our location is guided by the latitude along which we live. Okay, and it is guided, our coordinates, we have the latitude and the longitude. So when we have the geostationary orbit, okay, so since the period of rotation is the same, if any satellite is over you, then it will remain over you because the rotation, the way of rotation is the same. So the latitude and longitude for you, it will not change in case of geostationary orbit. Okay, because this plane, this equatorial plane, it is perpendicular to the longitudes. But in case of the geosynchronous orbits, your latitude and longitude, okay, the position of the satellites, they will not appear to you as stationary. Geosynchronous satellites, they will not appear to the viewers as stationary because the latitude and longitude will change for them. Their overhead position will change. Okay, all the great circles which are passing through the poles, they are the longitudes, and longitudes, they are in the perpendicular plane which is perpendicular to the equatorial plane. So in case of the geosynchronous satellites, both the latitude and longitude will change. But in case of geostationary satellite, they are moving parallel to one of the latitude. Okay, and the rotation speed is same as the Earth, so the longitude will remain the same. And since the rotation speed is same, they will remain at the latitude. Obviously, it will remain the same. The geosynchronous satellites, they will not appear to you as stationary. Are any interference I think I have not told you any term RNA interference. Have I told you anything about the RNA interference? Okay, it was related to biotechnology. Okay, I will see this question and I will revert back. What were the options? I think it will be only there were statements about RNA interference, or there were just four options. Nathan? Any more question? RNA is single stranded. RNA is also the combination of these A, T, G, C, U. Okay, like this. RNA is also a chain. It is a nucleotide. Okay, it is a nucleic acid, a chain of nucleotides. But RNA is single stranded, and in the RNA, okay, one of the element is missing. In the RNA, we do not have this T. Yes, this was in the slide. I have mentioned it. The PDF of the slide that you have the okay of the biotechnology, and in that slide it is mentioned in the difference between RNA and DNA that in the RNA T is missing, and instead of T we have U. Okay, in the DNA we have ATGC, and in that we have AUGC. It is mentioned in the slide. So before wrapping up things, okay, I would like to talk something about the strategy and how to approach the examination. And the first thing that I will say to you is that this is only one examination. Okay, take it as only one examination, and it requires certain discipline, certain kinds of efforts from your side. This is just a simple examination. Simple in the sense, tracking it is no rocket science. You can invest, if you can invest 10 hours per day for 1 year, that is more than enough. If you can invest if you can invest 8 to 10 hours per day for 1 year, it is easier for you to crack it. Here, people from very humble backgrounds, they have cracked it. The son of a farmer, the son of a rickshaw puller, such kind of people have cracked it. People who have only 50% in the 10th class, who have 50% in the 12th class, even such kind of people, they have also cracked it. the mediocres, they have cracked it, and the very intelligent person, okay, the person from the AIMS, who have degree from the AIMS, who have graduated from the IITs. Okay, so such kind of person, they have failed in this examination. So this is a very different kind of examination. People from the humble background, they have cracked it, and people from the eminent institutions, they have failed in it. तो यहाँ पे इंटेलिजेंस का ये गेम नहीं है, इट इज अबाउट योर एटीट्यूड, योर परसिवरेंस, ठीक है, आपके धैर्य की और आपके एटीट्यूड की यहाँ पे परीक्षा होती है, बिकॉज यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग 10 आवर्स पर डे। एक टायरिंग प्रोसेस है, आप डेली एक रूटीन को फॉलो करते हैं और एक ही टारगेट फॉलो कर रहे हैं, तो इसीलिए थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट बन जाता है। एंड ऑब्वियसली बिकॉज एवरी ईयर वी हैव 10 लाख ऑफ एस्पिरेंट, 10 लाख एप्लीकेशंस होते हैं यूपीएससी के लिए, 10 लाख या उससे ज्यादा, ऑन एवरेज 10 लाख बच्चे अपीयर करते हैं। एंड आउट ऑफ द 10 लाख स्टूडेंट, 4.5 लाख स्टूडेंट लगभग अपीयर भी करते हैं एग्जाम में, फिगर इसके अराउंड ही रहती है पिछले कुछ सालों से। और इन 4.5 लाख में से फाइनली फिर 10,000 स्टूडेंट्स वो पास होंगे प्रीलिम्स में, और अगर यहीं पे कैलकुलेट करोगे तो 97 पॉइंट समथिंग, 97 पॉइंट समथिंग इतने स्टूडेंट एलिमिनेट हो जाएंगे। ओनली लगभग 2.2% स्टूडेंट यहाँ पे पास करेंगे, और 10,000 में से फाइनली फिर 2,000 बच्चे सिलेक्ट होंगे मेंस में, और वो इंटरव्यू देंगे, और जितनी भी सीट आती हैं 700, 800, 900, वो यहाँ पे फाइनल सिलेक्शन है। तो सबसे ज्यादा ट्रिकियर पार्ट है वो है प्रीलिम्स का। प्रीलिम्स में सिर्फ 2.2% बच्चों को पास होना है, और यूपीएससी जानबूझ के दे विल सेट अ पेपर दैट मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट get eliminated in the prelim stage. Okay, elimination is their purpose. सिर्फ 2.2% बच्चों को यहाँ पे सिलेक्ट होना है, एंड द सिलेक्शन रेट इट राइजेस टू 20% इन केस ऑफ मेंस टू इंटरव्यू ट्रांजिशन। ठीक है, सो 2.2% बच्चों को ही उनको पास करना है। तो जान के यूपीएससी दे सेट अ पेपर व्हिच इज अनप्रेडिक्टेबल। यूपीएससी हैज अ टैग दैट इट इज अनप्रेडिक्टेबल सर्विस कमीशन, unpredictable public service commission. So they will set a paper which is unpredictable, and they will set the paper in order to eliminate most of the students. So अब ये unpredictability, because Nikhil the competition is ruthless, there are only 800 odd seats, we have only 800 seats, and there are 4.5 lakh students who have appeared in the examination. Okay, but they need only 800. So what will they do? Elimination is not their choice. Okay, the nature of examination is such that the applicant number is so high and the seats are so less. And in the mains examination, they have to evaluate the subjective copies, the written copies. So that is why they can afford taking examination, mains examination of only 10,000 students, because the evaluation of such copies, it takes time. So they are unpredictable by choice. Okay, they have to eliminate it. This is in the nature of the examination. They have to eliminate it. So पहली बात जो सबको समझनी है, ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं है अगर कोई बोलेगा कि आईएएस बनना है तो 14 घंटे आप पढ़ लो, 16 घंटे आप पढ़ लो, आप बन जाओगे। बात ये नहीं है कि आप अपने शरीर की कितनी दूर, आप अपने आप को कितना कष्ट दे रहे हो, बात वो नहीं है। बात सिर्फ इतनी है कि आप क्या रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी कर पा रहे हो, रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी करने की बात है। ओके, if you are a smoker, if you are doing anything else, okay, then it doesn't matter. If you are investing your time correctly, if you are giving your 10 hours, okay, and in those 10 hours you are giving your everything, ठीक है, तो बाकी कोई भी चीज मैटर नहीं करती है। ओके, so may I put options for the RNA ITech? Please, Nathan, go ahead. Okay, so this was the question, and I think the option should be either the option 1 or the 4. So in the RNA interference, I think they would fuse the RNA with the gene sequence, and they will alter the gene sequence, and either that will give the plant some kind of property which will make it resistant to the viral pathogen, or that gene it may be get, okay, it may get silenced in its functionality. So I think the 4 will be correct. I have not heard anything like gene silencing. So I think here the option 4 is more appropriate. Okay, the option was which is wrong. The question was which of these is wrong. Okay, 1, 2, and 4 are right. Okay. So this RNA interference, I think they are using the genetic sequence in the RNA, and they fuse it with the genetic material of the crop plant, or they are using it for developing therapies for the cancer. So 3 is obviously 3 is wrong, because I think there is no such thing hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy, there is no such thing. So by modifying the genes, we have obviously treated the diabetes. We can treat the cancer also. The targeting the specific mutation in the gene which is causing the cancer. Okay, I will get back to this question. I will get back to this question. Don't worry. So I was saying that UPSC sets a very unpredictable paper, and there will be 2 assets in case of the prelims. When you are preparing for the prelims, the syllabus is same for the prelims and mains. The nature of question it changes. Okay, in the prelims you have the objective type, and in the mains you have the subjective type, and your writing skills, your understanding of the subject, it matters more in the mains. And in the prelims, if your memory is good, if you can retain a lot of data, that is an added advantage. Okay, if your memory is very sharp in the sense that you can retain more amount of data, then that your memory will become an asset to you. And second is your foundation of the syllabus, your strong foundation of the syllabus, that will also be an asset, your understanding of the subject. And please be clear that your foundations are polity, geography, economy, and history. And in history, the first priority is to modern India and second priority is to ancient Indian history. Okay, consider environment as part of geography and science and tech as an extension of all these things. So सबसे पहले स्टार्टिंग में पॉलिटी, ये आपकी बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रांग होनी चाहिए, ज्योग्राफी आपकी स्ट्रांग होनी चाहिए, इकोनॉमी, इकोनॉमी में प्रीलिम्स के अंदर भी बहुत क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, मेंस के अंदर भी बहुत क्वेश्चन आते हैं, तो विदाउट इकोनॉमी you cannot clear the prelims. And history, so there are certain standard books for the polity. We have Lakshmikant, आपके क्लास नोट्स हैं, सब कुछ हैं, ओके, वो सफिशिएंट होंगे, सब कुछ होंगे, बट फिर भी जितने भी स्टूडेंट सेलेक्ट हुए हैं, जितने भी प्रीवियस ईयर के टॉपर्स हैं, एवरीवन गोस थ्रू लक्ष्मीकांत. कोई ऐसा बंदा नहीं मिलेगा जिसने एग्जाम क्रैक किया हो उसने लक्ष्मीकांत ना करी हो. ठीक है, तो लक्ष्मीकांत तो करनी ही करनी है. इंस्टीट्यूट का भी मटेरियल है, सब कुछ है, बट आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट प्लीज गो थ्रू लक्ष्मीकांत. और मेरी भी बात नहीं माननी है, then please go through the interviews of the toppers and you will realize that everyone does this Lakshmikant. अगर कुछ और नहीं भी कर रहे हो पॉलिटी में, then Lakshmikant is sufficient for polity. ठीक, क्लास के नोट्स से, क्लासेस करके आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग बनेगी, but if you are using any book, use Lakshmikant. And for the geography, okay, you can do it from your class notes and please use the NCERTs. NCERTs, I would not say that 6 से लेके 12 तक की सारी NCERT करनी है, वो प्रैक्टिकल नहीं है, सिर्फ उतना करना है जो हम रिवाइज कर सकते हैं. तो इसलिए 11th and 12th की जो NCERT है सिर्फ आपको उतनी ही करनी है, एंड योर कॉन्सेप्ट्स दे विल बी कवर्ड इन दी क्लासेस. ओके, और साथ ही साथ फॉर द फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी यू कैन यूज GC Lyon. In the second part of GC Lyon, they have given the biomes of the world. The topic of the biomes, it is covered in the second part of the GC Lyon book. ठीक है, तो NCERT एंड GC Lyon. और रिटेन रखने का, चीजें आपको रिटेन रहेंगी, उसका एक ही तरीका है, रिवीजन. और रिवीजन के लिए वी नीड अ कॉन्साइज बुक लिस्ट. ठीक है, पॉलिटी में लक्ष्मीकांत हो गई, ज्योग्राफी में यू हैव NCERT ऑफ 11th and 12th. 6 से 10 तक की अगर पढ़, इतना टाइम आपको मिल रहा है तो आप पढ़ सकते हैं, वरना उसकी जरूरत नहीं है. एंड वी हैव GC Lyon फॉर द रेफरेंस. सेकंड पोर्शन के अंदर एनवायरमेंट की बायोम्स वगैरह मिल जाएंगी. एंड स्टार्टिंग में जो लैटिट्यूड, लॉन्गिट्यूड, दी गेन अ डे एंड लूज अ डे, ये कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं, उसके फर्स्ट 2 चैप्टर्स में आपके वो सब वहां पे कवर हो जाते हैं. ठीक है, इकोनॉमी में, इकोनॉमी आपकी क्लास में कवर होगी. बाकी दी बुक्स जो प्रीवियस ईयर्स के टॉपर्स ने यूज की हुई हैं, जो जितने भी एस्पिरेंट्स यूज करते आए हैं, ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड बुक्स हैं. वी हैव द बुक ऑफ संजीव वर्मा. Okay, we have the book of Sanjeev Verma and there is Ramesh Singh. And here also you can go through the strategy of the previous year toppers, और at least 3-4 टॉपर्स की स्ट्रेटेजी देखनी है, क्योंकि कुछ टॉपर्स ऐसे होते हैं जो सही बातें नहीं बताते हैं. ठीक है ना, फर्स्ट टाइम में निकल जाता है तो वो थोड़े अलग टेंजेंट पे होते हैं, तो उनके लिए सभी चीजें आसान होती हैं. बट प्लीज जो आपको देखने में थोड़ा हम्बल लगते हैं, तो एटलीस्ट 3-4 टॉपर्स के आप थ्रू जाना, आपको डिफरेंस पता लग जाएगा. एंड फाइनली द हिस्ट्री. हिस्ट्री के अंदर द क्लास नोट्स जो भी आप क्लास में कर रहे हैं वो सफिशिएंट होंगे. प्लस आई विल सजेस्ट ओनली वन बुक विच इज द स्पेक्ट्रम. स्पेक्ट्रम, और वहां पे 1750s से आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ औरंगजेब से और इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस तक आप स्पेक्ट्रम को पढ़ सकते हैं, और उसका रिपीटेड रिवीजन करेंगे, देन चांसेस ऑफ सिलेक्शन दे विल बी मोर. ठीक है, जब ये पिलर आपके मजबूत होंगे उसके बाद साइंस एंड टेक, एनवायरमेंट, ये आप कवर कर सकते हो. ठीक है, करंट अफेयर्स आपको ज्यादा अच्छी तरीके से समझ में आएंगे. तो स्ट्रेटेजी जो हर कोई फॉलो करता है, सब किसी की स्ट्रेटेजी यही है. नो वन इज रीडिंग 10 books. Everyone is following this strategy. They are doing one book 5-10 times. ठीक है, अपने नोट्स और जो लिमिटेड बुक्स हैं उनको करना है, और प्रीलिम्स के लिए फिर फाइनली टेस्ट सीरीज आपकी वहां पे हेल्प करती है। तो टेस्ट सीरीज जब आपका बेसिक तैयार होगा तो उसके बाद ही टेस्ट सीरीज आप अच्छे तरीके से यूटिलाइज कर पाएंगे। अभी टेस्ट देने में कुछ इतना मेजर फायदा होने नहीं वाला है, लेकिन आप टेस्ट दे लो ताकि आप पैटर्न के टच में रहोगे। ठीक है, वहां से अपने आप को आंकने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। तो टेस्ट सीरीज यूज करनी है जब आपके कोर सब्जेक्ट मजबूत हो जाएंगे, तो वहां से आपको टेस्ट सीरीज से दो चीजें पता चलेंगी। एक, आपको पता चलेगा अपना एक्यूरेसी लेवल, यू विल नो योर एक्यूरेसी लेवल फ्रॉम द टेस्ट सीरीज, that if you are attempting 70 क्वेश्चंस, तो आप कितने क्वेश्चंस यहाँ से गलत कर रहे हो। ठीक है, कट ऑफ का आइडिया हमको प्रीवियस ईयर से लग जाता है, that कट ऑफ इज गोइंग अराउंड 100 मार्क्स, और अगर 70 में से यू आर डूइंग 15 क्वेश्चंस रॉन्ग एंड यू आर डूइंग 55 क्वेश्चंस राइट, तो यू कैन मॉनिटर योर एक्यूरेसी फ्रॉम द टेस्ट सीरीज एंड यू कैन मेक अ स्ट्रेटजी अकॉर्डिंगली कि एग्जाम को हम किस तरीके से अप्रोच करेंगे। ठीक है, सो टेस्ट सीरीज किस तरीके से यूज करनी है। टेस्ट सीरीज में जिस तरह की आप गलती कर रहे हो अपने आपको मॉनिटर करना है कि किस तरह के आंसर्स मुझसे गलत हो रहे हैं, कॉन्सेप्ट में मेरे कहाँ पे कमी है और एक्यूरेसी लेवल कितना है। तो मेन एग्जाम में जब मैं प्रीलिम्स में जाऊंगा तो कितना मुझे वहां पे अटेम्प्ट करना है। ओके, तो जनरल आइडिया ये है, इफ एनीवन अटेम्प्ट्स लेस देन 75 क्वेश्चन द चांसेस ऑफ सिलेक्शन दे आर लेस, क्योंकि 20% एरर स्टैंडर्ड एरर है। 20% क्वेश्चन तक इजीली गलत हो जाते हैं। सो अटेम्प्ट जनरली, ये आपको धीरे धीरे समझ में आएगा, प्लीज ऑन द सेफर साइड कीप अटेम्प्ट 75 प्लस। इफ यू आर अटेम्प्टिंग 80 क्वेश्चंस तो वो एक सही स्ट्रेटेजी है। तो दिस इज माय टेक ऑन, यस नितिन प्लीज। Wearable technology is okay, any gadget which you can wear, that is the wearable technology. The gadgets that you can carry with yourself, you can wear them, those are the wearable tech. Okay Nitin, welcome. Okay, तो अपने कोर सब्जेक्ट्स पे, दिस इज द टाइम टू फोकस ऑन योर कोर सब्जेक्ट्स, एंड योर कोर सब्जेक्ट्स, योर फोर पिलर्स आर पॉलिटी, हिस्ट्री, इकोनॉमी एंड ज्योग्राफी। ओके, these are your pillars, please focus on these. And you can anytime when the prelims is 4 or 5 months away, you can get in the prelims mode. Getting in the prelims mode means revising your things, revising your notes again and again, and revising the current affairs again and again, the things that are in news, going through them again and again. So that is the prelims mode, and doing the test series and going through the previous year questions, and this whole process, it takes 8 to 10 hours. That is why we say that you have to invest 8 to 10 hours per day on an average for 1 year. And obviously, if you can do this, if you can endure this process, you can become an IAS officer. And if you are more inclined towards that, you will serve the society. Okay, you are studying to make a difference in the society, then that is very good. Okay, otherwise we all know that we have unethical officers in the system, because वो लोग पढ़ सकते थे 8 घंटा, वो टेक्निक जान गए थे कि मेंस में आंसर किस तरीके से लिखना है, यूपीएससी प्रीलिम्स को किस तरीके से अप्रोच करना है, एंड दे गेट इनटू द सर्विस, एंड फाइनली आफ्टर गेटिंग इनटू द सर्विस दे आर डूइंग द करप्शन. Okay, so finally your attitude will decide what kind of officer you will become. UPSC, the cracking UPSC, it only demands doing the right thing at the right time. ठीक है, तो सभी अपने पिलर्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग कर दो. दिस इज माय फाइनल टेक. और ठीक है, किसी को कुछ इसमें पूछना है? and obviously you can go through the
सर
quiz
जो
of the previous.
अकेडमी से सर
Yes, Manju, please.
तो जो अकेडमी से बुक्स मिली हैं उसके साथ में जो आपने बुक्स बताए वो भी करने हैं, और जो अकेडमी से बुक्स मिले हैं वो प्लस क्लास नोट्स.
See, Manju, the books that the academy is providing you, okay, we
Yes.
have a separate content development department. Okay,
Yes,
the
sir.
faculty, they design the test series. Okay, they provide some question in the test series, but they do not design the entire content. And this is not just with our institute. Every institute, we hire a content development team, and the content development team, they develop the material for us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so please use the standard books. This is my take.
Okay,
And please
sir.
go through the interviews of the toppers, and you will realize what sources to use.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Manju, thank you.
Hello, sir, are you
Meenu?
getting?
Yes, Meenu.
सर आंसर राइटिंग कैसे करनी है साइंस एंड टेक को फोकस करके स्पेशली?
Don't focus initially on the science and tech. Okay, if you want to do the answer writing, you have done enough of the history. I think you have done even the revolt of 1857. And in the GS paper 1, you have history, you have the geography. Okay, so most of the questions, they are the static questions. So you can analyze the previous year questions from the GS paper 1. GS paper 3 is very dynamic. Okay, in GS paper 3 हमारे पास इकोनॉमी है, साइंस एंड टेक है, एग्रीकल्चरल इश्यूज हैं, तो वो बहुत डायनामिक है, क्वेश्चन चेंज होते रहते हैं. उसके प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस करने का कोई फायदा नहीं है. If you can do the previous year questions of the paper 1 and paper 2, because in paper 2 we have the polity, and there are certain static questions which are related to the constitution's framing, and the topics contained in the constitution. So you can do those static questions. You can try and attempt answer to those questions. At present, do not try to attempt the answer to the previous year questions from the dynamic portion. And in the science and like the questions, they can be framed from the blockchain, like the achievement of Indians in science and technology. So questions will be of this nature. They will be analytical in nature. Okay, उसके लिए फॉर्डर पॉइंट्स आपको तैयार करने हैं. अगर अभी आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस करनी है, प्लीज डू द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस, एंड दैट टू फ्रॉम द स्टैटिक पोर्शन ऑफ जीएस पेपर 1 एंड जीएस पेपर 2. GS paper 2 में भी डायनेमिक पोर्शन है relating to the polity and the international relation. Skip those questions. And GS paper 3, it is purely dynamic. Okay, please do it in the end. Touch your GS paper 3. First, you build your concepts related to economy in the GS paper 3. आपकी प्रायोरिटी में इकोनॉमी जीएस पेपर 3 में अभी सबसे ऊपर होनी चाहिए, because there are economy is a lengthy subject. A lot of questions are asked in the prelims. A lot of questions they are asked in the mains. ठीक है? And science and tech के questions भी they will be relating to they will not be pure science and tech questions. Either they will be relating to the security part, or they will be relating to the agricultural portion, okay, or the Indian society at large. अगर प्रीवियस ईयर के क्वेश्चन देखोगे, देन स्टैटिक क्वेश्चन इन द साइंस एंड टेक दे आर वेरी लेस. एंड आंसर राइटिंग में प्लीज ये याद रखना है, डू नॉट ट्राई टू यूज वेरी हैवी वर्ड्स. कि आप सोचोगे कि आप अपनी वोकैब वहां पे प्रेजेंट करोगे, देन इट विल हेल्प यू. नो, इट विल नॉट हेल्प यू. मेक श्योर दैट the reader can read your answer and comprehend it easily. That is the main task. If you are using the heavy words and the examiner is not able to comprehend what you have written, then believe me, you will get poor marks. So that is why I stressed on the flow of the language, and please use the commonly used words. They will help you in the mains answer writing. क्योंकि जो आप लिख रहे हो सामने वाला उससे कनेक्ट करना चाहिए. That is our purpose. Okay, and if you have prepared your fodder, your basic subjects are strong, and you have prepared the enough fodder points from the current affairs. Okay, you are reading newspaper, you have make your notes, your structured notes, then you can always put in very good points in your answer. Always write the fabulous introduction, जिसमें कोई error ही ना हो. तो मेंस आंसर राइटिंग में सिर्फ इतना ही ध्यान रख, इफ यू कैन राइट वेल, अगर ग्रामर में आपकी इश्यूज हैं देन प्लीज राइट डेली, लेकिन अगर आपकी लैंग्वेज फ्लो में कोई ऐसा मेजर इशू नहीं है, जैसे अभी तक जो मैंने कॉपीज चेक की थी उनके लैंग्वेज फ्लो में कोई और ग्रामर में कोई मेजर इशू नहीं है, so they can do the answer writing only the static questions of the previous years if they want to do, and for now you can write 2-3 answers in a week, but please for now focus on the pillar subjects. Nitin, it depends upon your, okay, because you will indulge with your optional for 1-2 years. If you are interested in agriculture, then please take agriculture if this is your strong portion. It depends upon your interest. आपको अगर उसमें मजा नहीं आ रहा, वो ऑप्शनल लेने का बिल्कुल फायदा नहीं है if you cannot enjoy it, क्योंकि इसमें भी आपको बहुत सारा टाइम इन्वेस्ट करना है. प्योरली इंटरेस्ट बेसिस पे अगर एग्रीकल्चर में आपका इंटरेस्ट है देन प्लीज टेक एग्रीकल्चर, अदरवाइज एंथ्रोपोलॉजी इज अ गुड ऑप्शन. Okay, people, they are getting very good marks in anthropology.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, when
Miss Casey.
for the usage of toppers, they have said that including report grab extra marks. So I was confused. Reports from where actually?
Kezia, they say that please mention the reports, and they say that like use the recommendations of the ARC, okay, Administrative Reforms Commission, and certain other reports. So the toppers, what they are doing is they do not read these reports from cover to cover. Okay, they see only the basic recommendations, a summary kind of, or even they see the index of all these reports, that what is the basic crux of this report, and they freely use these reports in their mains answer, so that their answer they stand out. Because ARC is a very bulky report. Niti Aayog report, okay, Niti Aayog report, they are very bulky reports. No one reads them from cover to cover. They only mention them. They only use them very cleverly in their answers. So there is one topper. There is one topper by the name Mudit Jain, and he consecutively cracked the mains examination for 4 or 5 times. I think 4 times. Okay, and he get very good marks in the GS papers, and he always get the IPS IRS. He cracked the UPSC 4 times. The name is Mudit Jain. So he is very clever and cunning in the mains answer writing. Okay, and if you find time, for now please focus on the pillar subjects, and if you find time you can check out the strategy of Mudit Jain. The name is Mudit Jain. So he has qualified UPSC 4 times consecutively, and he is very clever and cunning. His approach is very, very bingo to the target, very precise approach, and his answer writing approach is very precise, and you can, okay, he also has a YouTube channel, you can watch him if you want. Otherwise, my take is for now, focus on the pillar subjects. And attitude is everything. Please, agar khushi you can endure the process, you are an enlightened person. I told you about the Michael Phelps, the Muhammad Ali, they never liked training. So please enjoy this process. UPSC के लिए prepare करने के लिए मिल रहा है, you are very lucky. You know the internet penetration in India is very low, only something about 20%. Okay. The majority of the children, they do not even have the gadgets to study. They have not been to schools, and you are the lucky ones who are preparing for UPSC. So please enjoy this process. ये phase दोबारा नहीं मिलने वाला है. इतना कुछ जानोगे इंडिया के बारे में. So this phase is even enjoyable. तो अगर एक ethical, एक सोसाइटी के लिए कुछ करने का जज्बा है, तो वो एक और भी ज्यादा एडिट एडवांटेज है. अदरवाइज इफ यू कैन गिव 8-10 hours and you are cunning enough, smart enough how to crack the examination, you will become an IAS. हर IAS ऑफिसर भी एक इंसान ही है. Okay. And there is one thing with the youth, that thing is energy. And when you have the energy, जब energy ज़्यादा होती है तो क्या होता है? पागलपन. So most of the youth, what they are doing is they are doing पागलपन, drugs and all, alcoholism, because they have enough energy, so they can indulge in all these activities. और जब ये energy खत्म हो जाती है तो वापस से वो एक dormant phase में आ जाते हैं. But you can channelize your energy in a particular direction, and you can achieve anything in the universe you can achieve by channelizing your energy. Okay, तो हमेशा याद रखना कि एनर्जी की कोई कमी नहीं है आप लोगों के अंदर, एंड यू कैन डू एनीथिंग दैट यू वांट. बस अपने एटीट्यूड को क्लियर रखना है, और परेशान और डिप्रेस तो बिल्कुल नहीं होना है. ठीक है, चिल रहो, 8-10 घंटे पढ़ो, इंडिया के बारे में जानो, एंड थिंग्स विल बी इजियर फॉर यू. So this is all from my side, and okay, and I think this is my last class, and I will be available for 1 or 2 sessions, and if you will have any doubts, so I will be available for that. So I have completed science and technology from my side in my own way. Okay, this was my take on how to approach this science and technology. Okay, so this is all from my side, and thank you. Take care and all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Kezia. So goodbye, guys, and all the best.